I love to watch the sunset as it fades behind the trees. Love to talk with God and get down upon my knees. I love the times I spend with my family and friends. Love to dream about all the places I've never been. And I love to watch you laugh and smile. I love to watch you dream. Love it when you take my hand and let me know you believe in me. I love it that you're my girl. I love that I'm your man. Now that you're in my life, baby, I know exactly who I am.
Thank y'all for being here. We are so delighted to have so many friends and family coming from a lot of distance in many cases to join us for this just wonderful, wonderful occasion for the Carries and the Chernoskys. And I'm going to turn the mic over to Chris, who is going to say a blessing for us.
Dear Heavenly Father, we are so thankful for this day. Not only is it a new day where your mercies are new, where we get to draw near to your throne of grace through Jesus, but Lord, what a day of anticipation and excitement for tomorrow. Just the picture that it is of your gospel that you have given to us just out of your infinite grace and mercy. Lord, we are so thankful for both the Carries and the Chernoskys, for all of the hard work that they've done preparing today and tomorrow. Lord, I ask that everyone's fears, anxieties would be calmed by your Spirit, that tonight would be just a great time of fellowship. We're so thankful for everyone that has made the effort to be here, thankful for safety in their travels. And Lord, we are most thankful for your Son, Jesus. And it's in his name that we pray. Amen.
I love to watch you laugh and smile. Oh, I love to watch you dream. I love it when you take my hand. Let me know you believe in me. I love it that you're my girl. I love that I'm your man. Now that you're in my life, baby, I know exactly who I am. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now that you're in my life, baby, I know exactly who I am.
Thank you. I'm going to start. My toast is going to be 4 parts. My first is going to be right over here with Jim and Jill. Jim and Jill, we met them in Austin about a little over 6 months ago. And they are wonderful people. I feel like we've been friends for a long, long time. And we couldn't found better in-laws or whatever we're called. I'm not sure. But just wonderful people. And it's a good thing they're really easy to talk to and get to know, because Tommy gave us 3 hours and 27 minutes to get to know each other. And we used 3 hours and 15 minutes of that to watch the TCU Horned Frogs put a whooping on Ole Miss in the Peach Bowl. I thank y'all from Melinda and myself for sharing your daughter with us. We could not be more excited about having her join and be part of our family. And we look forward to many years together with y'all. We might be meeting, we got a pretty good rivalry going. We got this UT, TCU, OSU thing, and we could be meeting around some football games in the fall in the future. The second part of my toast is to Lindsay. I'm going to go over here so I can look at Lindsay. Lindsay, we did not get to meet Lindsay first. Many of our friends and a few of our family members actually met Lindsay before we did. But I heard about this wonderful, lovely, attractive, personable, outgoing young lady that Tommy was spending time with. You know what? They were right. Lindsay, I knew you were the one when you eagerly agreed to go hog hunting with Tommy. And it didn't hurt that you were a Theta, a techie, and went to the best university in the state of Oklahoma. Go Cowboys! We love you very much, Lindsay, and we welcome you in to your Texas family. Tommy, you're next. This is number 3. This is going to take a little bit of time here. So everybody settle in, maybe get a drink. Get out my notes here. Just kidding. Tommy, you were a great kid growing up, and you had a few unusual habits. Tommy, every time we'd go visit friends or neighbors or just people we didn't know very well, Tommy would seek out their vacuum cleaner. Wherever it was, he would find it, and he would insist that we put it to work. Hey, Lindsay, this could be a pretty good thing in the future. Tommy, we love you very much. Your mother and I could not be any prouder of you. You've grown up into be a fine young man, and you've chosen well in your life partner. We're very, very happy for you. The final part of my toast is to Lindsay and to Tommy. Belinda and I raise our glasses to you as you begin now you're getting me tearing up, Tommy. As you begin a new chapter in your life together, may you receive the many blessings in your marriage that Belinda and I have over the last 31 years. We love you both very much. Cheers. Cheers. And I'm going to ask Jim Kieran to come up. And it's going to be a free-for-all after that, so just try to get people's attention if you're ready to add some comments.
Well, I guess I didn't realize it. Mine's kind of 4 parts too, and it's pretty much the same parts yours. And you're going to hear some repetition. First of all, thanks to Jay and Melinda for hosting this wonderful evening. And part B of part 1 was how much we have enjoyed getting to know you all. And I just echo what Jay just said. And you all know this, we didn't know it until 6 months ago, but we suspected it. And they're just fine folks, and we have enjoyed so much being able to be at their place and having them in Tulsa and getting to know them and so many of you all at the same time too. So we appreciate you all a lot and very grateful for you all. What a wonderful bonus in addition to getting a great son-in-law. It doesn't always happen that way, and I feel very blessed about that. Then to our guests of honor, Lindsay, you know we've always been proud of you for so many reasons, just every reason. And I think maybe as much as ever now, just for your patience and your trusting and waiting for the right guy to come along. We've been praying for that guy since you were little, and we were just so glad to find out, Tommy, that you were that guy. We could not be more pleased. We are so thrilled that you're going to be part of our family, and have so enjoyed watching you all get to know each other, and even though from some distance, but we have appreciated, and it's meant so much to us to see you all develop your relationship. You're so far beyond what most of us were when we were at that point in life. You all, it's just obvious that you have been striving all along to keep Christ in the middle of your relationship. It just means the world to us. There is no better foundation than that for a marriage. So anyway, we're thrilled with everything. We're just thrilled. Bear with me for just a very quick story. This is quick. When Lindsay was first born, that very day, I remember watching through the glass at St. Luke's Hospital down the road, and there was a woman in there, and we talked a little bit, I guess, but it was just she and I, and don't really remember much of what we talked about except when she left, and her last thing that she said to me was, "Enjoy your life with Lindsay." And it was so simple, but it was just such a neat thing. And it stuck. I mean, I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but that stuck with me. It was just really meaningful. And so tonight, I get the thrill of paying it forward. And Tommy, enjoy your life with Lindsay. And we're thrilled you're going to get to do that. And we'll double down on it and say, Lindsay, enjoy your life with Tommy. And for us, we get to enjoy our lives with both of you and CJ. And we're thrilled about that. So, to raise a glass to Lindsay and Tommy, and like Jay, I will wish you all the blessings that Jill and I have enjoyed over our years of marriage, and wishing you that you will always know God's presence right in the middle of it. Cheers. Cheers.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, get your stuff up. Hi, my name is Ted Lyons, and I'm the newest candidate for the office of the President of the United
Am I in your shot?
Oh, okay. I'm on track now. I get nervous when I'm up here. And by the way, Tommy, this is going to sound a little cheesy, but you should be familiar with cheesy. I'm Ted Lyons, and my wife Stacy and I are proud to be Tommy's godparents. What a delightful and cheerful occasion this evening as we gather to celebrate the union of these two young people, Lindsay and Tommy. Stacy and I are so happy for you both, and we're particularly happy to welcome Lindsay into the Lyons family, which is an extension of the Chernovsky family. Welcome, Lindsay. Lindsay, we have so enjoyed getting to know you over the last year, and are simply elated that Tommy has found such an intelligent, loving, and gorgeous woman to navigate life with. You, no doubt, have those two very necessary characteristics that are essential to living with Tommy: patience and tolerance. Tommy, as your godfather, who has known you and loved you since the day you were hatched, I have just one bit of advice. Listen to Lindsay. Now, in preparation of tonight's celebration, I thought I would, revisit and reflect back on the last 27 years of notes. Stacy and I, we've compiled copious notes over the last 27 years. Aurora, would you please bring out the note? Aurora? Oh, thank you. Tommy's Tales.
No, Ted, we can't use the whole book.
Why not?
Because we'll be here to have to marry tomorrow.
Well, Linda said, I told her I'd keep it under an hour. No, it's just got big font. It's got pictures so Tommy's little friends can follow along. too? Just remember one thing, the man may be the head of the family, but the woman is the neck, and the neck can turn the head any way she wants. All right. Well, fortunately, I made Cliff Notes. Okay. Lindsay, this is principally for your benefit, so that you're aware of some of Tommy's more endearing qualities. Let's begin with chapter 1 of Tommy's Tales. Tommy, the food enthusiast. As many here tonight know, Tommy has always had, let's say, a rather fickle palate. In his early years, he existed solely on a diet of cheese and crackers. Who could have known that a guy could have grown to be 6'3" on cheese and crackers? I should have eaten cheese and crackers. It is my understanding, however, Tommy, that as you have grown up, you've expanded your cuisine to more exotic tastes, such as Italian food, which I find out is cheese pizza, and Mexican food. Oh, exotic Mexican food, and queso and chips. Okay. Lindsay, if the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, please, in your pantry, stock a hefty amount of cheese. Tommy, the housekeeper. This was alluded to a little earlier by his father. Tommy was trained by the best. Burned in my memory. Uh-oh, I lost my place. Burned, this is teamwork. Burned in my memory are those vivid images of Tommy in his little shorts and little red boots, pushing with determination his little toy vacuum all the way across the floor. He was very graceful, but focused, as he skillfully maneuvered his vacuum in his quest to leave no crumb behind. Tommy the builder. Everybody here knows that Tommy is a very talented builder. It was quite obvious that Tommy would someday be a successful engineer. He loves to build. He loves to build and is quite talented. I commit to you tonight, Lindsay, Tommy will always provide a solid roof over your head for as long as he has an adequate supply of Legos available. Then there's Tommy the hunter. This is one of my favorites. You will never go hungry, as Tommy has become, with my help of course, a very proficient hunter. He, like his father, have adapted nicely to the commands such as back, over, here. He still has a little trouble with sit and stay, but with time and a little bit of praise such as good boy, he will master those commands as well. Tommy the mechanic. He has rebuilt Jeeps, fixed John Deere tractors, repaired Fords as far back as I can remember. Tommy, no question, you know your way around an automobile. Some might say you're Mr. Goodrich, but oops, that's a General Motors guy. Tommy the planner. Lindsay, you guys will always be well organized, as Tommy's ability to carefully plan is, well, let's just say, it is a skill set that is unique to the Chernovsky-Macan bloodline. It is in your DNA. Then there is Tommy the husband. Lindsay, we have known and followed every aspect of this young man's life. The highs, the lows, and the in-betweens. You could not have chosen a more honorable, devoted, spiritually centered, and responsible man to be your husband. The love he has for you is unwavering and complete. And last but not least, Stacy and I very much look forward to writing a sequel to Tommy's Tales someday, and we cheerfully hope to title that Tommy the Dad. We love you both, congratulations, and God bless you both.
Cheers.
person that had a request. Where is she? Where is Ellie?
Ellie.
Oh, right there. Right under my nose.
I better go now. Sometimes I wait too long and then I get too nervous. So hi, my name's Ellie and I'm Tommy's baby sister. And I've known Tommy my entire life, 25 years. And gosh, we've been through a lot of seasons together. Early on, we were young. I literally followed Tommy everywhere. I did everything that he told me to do. He'd be like, Ellie? He had a Western accent. I'd be like, Kay. I would just follow him around like I was his little minion, which actually was great for him. I mean, you know, I was like 2 years younger and just thought he was the coolest person. And when I went to school, my first day of school, my parents had, told the teachers my given name, which was Ellen. And when asked, I defiantly told them, no, my name is Ellie, because that's what my brother Tommy had called me. So, Tommy, I can give you credit for my given name, which I go by now. Tommy and I have had amazing times in our family. The four of us have had just amazing memories as we have grown up in such a loving environment. And Tommy and I had our years in middle school and high school where we didn't really have that much in common. But in our college years, we grew really close and developed a friendship, and I got to watch just an amazing man of God develop. And Tommy is impacting my life so much, and I'm just so proud to be his sister. Sorry, I'm getting so teary. And I mean, not much has changed since we were young. Here in adulthood, I have bought a house 5 blocks down so I can be in his neighborhood. Me and my fiance are going to live really closely, and we've already taken advantage of that. We call Tommy when we ever face something we don't know about home ownership, which is everything. And Eric and I are following his lead and getting married in 3 months. There was one other thing. Oh, we go to the same church. I moved back to Houston. I was like, well, yeah, I got to be in the same community as my brother because I know he's an amazing man and I want to follow his lead. Just thank you, Tommy, for your leadership and for being my older brother. I can't imagine life without that. And Lindsay, I've waited 25 years for your sister, and it is worth the wait. The moment I met you, I was like, gosh, I hope Tommy falls in love with her. And not only my friend, but my older sister, which I am just so blessed to have. So here's to Tommy and Lindsay.
Well, I know. So, my name is Eric Johnson, and I am the lucky man who gets to marry into the Chernovsky family alongside my future sister-in-law, Lindsay, Carrie soon to be Chernovsky. So, Tommy and I, as all great brother-in-law relationships are, we started off on a great foot. Just to start the story really fast, Ellie and I dated about 5 years ago for a couple months. We were at the University of Texas, and I know so many TCU friends here. In the back. It was kind of a dour part in Ellie and my previous relationship, and I was kind of a shell of the man who I am now, so it's very quiet. So the last night I'm there, around the hot tub, as almost all Chernovsky lake house visits go, they all end in the hot tub. And my friend Tommy turns to me and says, Eric, do you ever talk? And I was like, wow. I come to know, so when Ellie and I got back together a couple years after that, Ellie, told Tommy, Eric is, the one that came to the lake house a couple of years ago. And he was like, who? Didn't make much of an impression. So about 8 months into Ellie and my relationship, we were in the same path as Tommy and Lindsay. Both Tommy and I were falling in love with our respective lady friends. And so I went to lunch with Tommy. Tommy and I met up in downtown Houston. I was like, I want to make sure we're on the same page. Obviously you are the elder, and you should you have every right to the first in line. And so I told him my intention. I had fallen in love with Ellie, and I really wanted to marry her, and eventually talked to Jay, and he was like, I think you should wait. And I was just blown away. I thought it was going to be a great lunch. We were eating Chick-fil-A. It was so nice. And I was shocked and awed by that. But I stand here today. That was probably about a year ago now. I'm 3 months away from marrying the love of my life, Ellie. And I'm about to see Tommy marry the love of his life, Lindsay. And there are not many men in this world who I respect and care about opinion more than Tommy Chernosky. I am so thankful for that lunch and your just words of wisdom throughout our friendship and now brotherhood. I have 2 older sisters. I never had an older brother, and so I'm just so pumped to be the annoying little brother. It's going to be so wonderful, and I'm just so thankful to be in the season with Lindsay, this caring, wonderful young woman, and I'm just so happy. I'm also, Jim and Jill, are so excited to have a new son-in-law. I hope you know there's 2 stragglers along the way. We're really excited to be with you guys. I don't have a drink.
From the UT side,
But I'm so thankful to be here, and I'm so happy to celebrate you too. Love you both a lot. I don't have my drink, so I'm just gonna lift my hands.
If I ever get nervous, I'll just look at John and he'll make me laugh. So I'm Ryan. I'm notoriously known as Tommy's best friend. But I just wanted to say a couple words. I've known Tommy for almost 10 years, our freshman year of college, and there's a ton of perks being Tommy's friends. Being one of Tommy's friends, he's got an awesome lake house. He's taught us how to, ski and wakeboard and all that stuff as well. He's taken us out to his ranch so graciously each year. He's taught me how to hunt and shoot, and mainly just a huge fan of Texas. So it's been awesome. But mainly just wanted to say that, Tommy is one of the most selfless people I know. Truly, he'll do anything for anyone. There's a great story that me and Aaron, we were driving to his ranch, and it was cold, it was pouring down rain, and there was some people stranded on the road, and me and Aaron were saying, don't stop, just keep going. But Tommy was sick, but he pulled over and he helped him out. And I've learned a big lesson from that he would really do anything for anyone. So just wanted to raise my glass to Tommy and Lindsay and say thanks for being awesome friends, and just look forward to many, many future days with you in Little Chernosky. So.
All right, so I'm JT Carney. I'm Tommy. I got the pleasure of being Tommy's freshman year roommate. Tommy and I obviously didn't know each other. I was from Dallas, he was from Houston, and we got just potluck paired together. And the funny story about that is actually we got potluck paired with 2 other guys, and they wanted to room together, so ended up through Facebook and everything, Tommy and I got to room together, which actually ended up working for the best, obviously, since we're both here tonight. A story about freshman year, a couple stories about freshman year, rooming with Tommy. First story being, at the end of first semester freshman year, Tommy and I were rooming together. We were going through finals for the first time, and I remember Tommy was a much more studious studier than I ever was. He was an engineering major and I was a marketing major, so he had a whole lot more homework than I ever did. So he was up late during finals one night and studying, and I went to bed, And then I got up in the morning, I think I had like an 8 o'clock final or something like that, and Tommy is on the ground in our dorm room, writhing in pain, and I just step over him and go to my final. And come to find out later, he actually crawled down the hall somehow and got to Ryan Tao's room, and Tao took him to the hospital, and he had an ulcer. So luckily Tao was there to save the day, because I wasn't such a good roommate. That was a great story. The other story that I learned in rooming with Tommy was that he loved to make pros and cons lists. And Lindsay, you probably already know this about him, but I remember one time, I think it was a class that Tommy was taking, and he was afraid. I was like, do I drop the class? Do I keep taking the class? Do I drop? So he actually sat down and wrote out a pros and cons list, which is the first time I've ever seen anybody do it. I've heard people talk about it, but this is the first time I've ever seen anybody do it, and it just shows the detail that Tommy goes through in making any decision, and I appreciate that about him, and it very much complimented me in that aspect, because I'm a very much a fly by the seat of my pants, make the decision that sounds best at the whatever I'm feeling at that moment. So I very much appreciate that about Tommy, and that gives even more credence to him choosing you, Lindsay, to be his bride, which is an amazing fact. And when I first met you, I was like, this girl is great. Tommy, when are you gonna pop the question here, man? Let's get this party started. And then I was like going through the checklist in my head. I was like, okay, she's beautiful. She loves Jesus. She's from she's from Oklahoma. Wait a minute. That's a big. I thought that was like strike 3 already from Oklahoma, but obviously it worked out for the best, and I'm very happy to be here on this day with you guys and to celebrate you guys tomorrow. Is going to be just a huge honor for me to be a part of it, and I very much appreciate you guys having me. Appreciate the Chernowskis throwing this great party here, and just raise a glass to Lindsay and Tommy.
For those of you keeping score at home, table 7 is now on number 3. That puts us ahead of you guys. My name is Aaron Mullins. I am one of Tommy and Lindsay's groomsmen. I also have had the pleasure of knowing Tommy since freshman year at TCU. I've also had the pleasure of living with Tommy probably more than anyone here other than his family. Tommy is a great person, and I'll get into that a little bit more in a second. But first I want to talk about Lindsay. I want to thank the Carey family, obviously, for raising an amazing person. I have not had the opportunity to spend as much time with Lindsay as I would like, being that Houston and Fort Worth are not that close together. But she is amazing, and Polly and I, Polly's my wife, have known probably since the first time we met Lindsay that there was something special about her, and that Tommy wasn't dumb enough to miss out on how special she is. So we are very happy to be here and very happy to be a part of this. You better stop that, 'cause I'm just getting started. So thank you guys for having us be a part of this. What I want to get into is Tommy and I did live together for several years at different times throughout college and after college. And one thing that Tommy used to have written or printed out or whatever was an acronym, GFFT, which stands for God, Family, Friends, and Texas. I don't know if he still has it printed out, I don't know if he still has it written down, but I know that he still lives by it. It's kind of his own personal credo, if you will. And Tommy found God in Houston, growing up in a Christian home, being surrounded by great Christian people, Christian godparents, and he never lost that. Family is obviously the second piece of that. God is number one in his life, and if you guys have heard enough people stand up here and tell you how selfless and how well he models Christ. But his family has been a huge part of that. And I have been a benefit of Tommy's family. As Ryan mentioned, lake house, hunting, you name it, they show it's really apparent where he learned that from. Friends, he made a hard decision to branch out and be the black sheep and go to Fort Worth where he belonged. Go Frogs. He broke the chain of the burnt orange, thank God. And he was smart enough that at TCU he surrounded himself with, again, a very strong Christian community, and really continued to build himself as a young man. And in Texas, Tommy is not shy on his Texas pride, and nor should he be. But Houston has always been his home. And as much as I miss having him in Fort Worth, excuse me, Houston is where Tommy belongs. And he tried. He tried. He dated. He was involved. He had a community in Fort Worth, but there was always something missing. And like I said, he found God in Houston. His family is in Houston. He came back to Houston and made new friends at his church who are here and part of this wedding as well. And most importantly, he found Lindsay. And actually, my favorite thing about Lindsay is that she is from Oklahoma. Because I myself am from Southern Oklahoma. The majority of my family is from Southern Oklahoma. And so a lot of times I had to remind Tommy that as great as Texas is, and as the song goes, God bless Texas with his own hands, he also blessed America. And Oklahoma is the northern neighbor to Texas as part of the United States of America. And so, Tommy, I would just like to say, marriage is great. You're going to love it. Lindsay, it's amazing. You're going to love it. But I think you're going to have to amend your acronym. I think now it will need to be GLFFTO. For God, second to God, Lindsay, then family, then friends, then Texas, and unfortunately, if you look at it this way, I don't look at it this way, Oklahoma. So we'll be spending some time there. So I would just like to say that congratulations, love you both, happy to be here, and cheers to you.
Good job, Eric. Good job.
Okay, so we need someone for Lindsay. So. Thought I'd represent a little bit. So first off, I actually forgot my phone. Can you give me my phone real quick? So Lindsay sent this to me the other day. I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't remember what thank you note or how amazing Lindsay is note that this was for. But she sent a picture of this to me that I wrote to her saying, Lindsay, LC. I just got to thinking how we may be able to narrow down the world of single men for you by only noticing those with the last name with a C. Otherwise, what will we people do if we couldn't call you LC? So apparently maybe I'm a prophet or something, I don't know. So it works out really well.
It was at your wedding.
Yeah, so it was 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago, apparently I was divine inspiration or something. I was really excited to hear whenever Lindsay had met Tommy, she talked about him and she kind of held back a little bit. And that's how I figured out that she was in love with this guy, didn't want to admit it, because I did the same thing to her whenever I met my husband. And she asked me at one point when we had been dating for 6 months going, are you ready to admit to it yet? No, not yet. And she did the same thing with me. I'm like, so how's this going with Tommy? It's going well. It's going well. And it wasn't until a little later she finally admitted going, I think this is the guy. Like it was over IM, but I could hear the whisper. This is the guy. So I was really excited. I actually have not met Tommy at this point in time besides FaceTime. So I don't know if you guys have ever had a conversation through FaceTime through someone that you've never met before. It was a lot of fun getting to meet Tommy that way, though, for like the 2 minutes that we spent talking on FaceTime. But I could even tell then that he was really in love with her and was all excited, going, "Okay, I gotta meet the friends. If the friends don't approve, then Lindsay's not gonna have me. So I need to be there." So one of the things that I was going to share with you guys that I'm not actually going to share with the toast is, the joke is that Tommy and I are kind of the same person. We share similar names. My name is Tammy, by the way. His name is Tommy. We're sitting next to one another. We share a love of queso, so thank you for making fun of him. I also eat like a 5-year-old, but I'm branched up. I think I might be a 12-year-old. What do you think? I think I made it to 12. You can make it. Lindsay, you can train him. See, this to me, I eat bone marrow now, pig face. You can get there. You'll love it. It's good stuff. You like to hunt. You should be able to eat this stuff. The other thing, I wanted to talk about Lindsay a little bit on the fact that I was going through kind of a rougher time right out of college, moved back to Tulsa from college, and was just kind of trying to figure out God in my life again. I had grown up very Southern Baptist, very strong in the church, and very excited about it, and kind of in college kind of drifted away like some people do. And met Lindsay at work and got to know her and started hanging out with her. She kept inviting me to church and stuff to hang out with her with the singles group that she was with, and started hanging out a little bit more and was like, yeah, okay, you know, like I've always loved God, but wasn't fully committed to him as much as I should be. And so meeting her and watching her life and really getting to talk with her, and she just really helped me develop my relationship with God. So thank you so much for bringing me back around and showing me the life with God and really showing me and kind of being a mentor. You're younger than me, but thank you for being my mentor that way and praying with me and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for you too. Tommy, I love that you share the heart that she has. You guys are, as your friends keep saying that you're the selfless person, Lindsay, you are like his twin that way. I can call you in any moment, at any time, and I've watched you with so many people be amazing and always willing to help out. But we love you both very, very much. And I don't have a drink because I finished my old fashioned, but raise a glass and congratulations to you too. Cheers.
I want to say that Lindsay is possibly one of the most selfless people I've ever met in my entire life, especially as a friend. She would quite literally give you the shirt off your back if she needed to. She is someone who, if you needed something, Lindsay for sure will be there 100%. I was kind of hoping Tommy would stay in here for this, but when I first met Tommy, yeah, he left. So, when I first met Tommy, we didn't start out so great, Tommy and I. We really didn't. So I wasn't so sure about him at first, but he's not here, so I was gonna say, I'm so happy for both of you. I think that I was going to tell them he's finally, I think, deserving of you now. But I'm so happy for both of you. I love you so much, Lindsay, and I couldn't be happier for tomorrow and just for the many years to follow. So we love you very much.
I'm Sarah, and I'm one of the bridesmaids as well. And Lindsay and I met in Houston when we first moved to Houston, probably about like 7 years ago or so. We moved to Houston at the same time, and I was right out of college at that point. And just so thankful to have Lindsay as a friend. Agree with the selflessness, and just she was so friendly and always Lindsay was like known for planning things and inviting everybody she could possibly think of and connecting everybody, which was so special and such an, I'm not like that. And so it was so nice to always be invited along to things, and just felt like I found a really great friend here in Houston. And after college, that can be tough to switch friends. And so it was really, really awesome to find a great friend, and we've traveled together, which has been, a travel partner is really awesome because not everybody can be your travel partner. Anyways, and then I'm so excited about Tommy, and once again, he's not here, but it's been so fun to like walk alongside you and to hear about all of it, and it has just been so fun to go hang out and hear all the girly things and talk all about it and figure everything out. So we're so excited that we're here today, and so thankful for y'all.
And Tommy's back. I'm Abby, also a bridesmaid, and I met Lindsay whenever I came 5 years ago. I was living with Jesse. We were the new kids on the block, didn't know anyone. Sarah had a party at her house and invited us very kindly. Her apartment that was 2 doors down. We met at the pool, so it was an instant friendship. And I ended up talking with Lindsay, and ended up that we were both Thetas, but not only that, our mothers were Thetas together, and our grandmas and knew each other. So it was kind of just instant connection there. It was a lot of fun. And since then, I've gotten to know Lindsay a lot better in the last year. My husband and I bought a house unknowingly just a few blocks down from Tommy. So he's come in handy for some saws that my husband has needed the past few weeks. But really, we've shared like lots of meals together with them already just down the street, and just come over to borrow things, just kind of instilling that neighborliness, just trying to just stop by. And I was like, we're intruding, and my husband's just been encouraging to just stop by, just create that neighborly feel, which I've loved, and so excited to have Ellie and Eric down the street as well. I think that it's going to be such a fun little neighborhood, and to add more Lazy Brook couples. But I'm so thankful for our friendship with both Lindsay and Tommy. We have just found lots of similarities between the two of us with Oklahoma, and husbands that love Texas and hunting and all sorts of great things. My husband loves bacon a little bit more than Tommy. I don't know how you hunt and don't like that, but just learning a lot more about him, and just realizing such a great couple. So it's been a joy, and we are all so very excited for you. Thankful for your friendship, and excited for tomorrow. So raise your glass. Once again, we don't have them, but sorry. Yay.
All right, table 7's back at it. I'm Sean Morton. For those of y'all that don't know me, I am one of the groomsmen. Unlike the other groomsmen that have been up here, I was never allowed to live with Tommy because he found out that I let my dirty dishes accumulate in the sink in a previous life. I don't do that anymore. But in all seriousness, Tommy's one of my best friends. Freshman year, I lived in between Tommy and JT and Aaron, and it was just such a blessing to get to know him and get to know that group of friends. I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for Tommy. Tommy challenges me in a lot of ways, in a lot of good ways. He challenges me to be on time to every place that I meet him. He challenges me just to be a better person. And most recently, he's challenged me to get 3 numbers before the end of the summer, because apparently I'm the last single person in the group of friends, except for Matt Martin, who's back there.
Give me your number.
So yeah, I plan to get all 3 of those tonight or tomorrow. Watch out. So very quickly, Lindsay and Tommy, I still remember the first time I saw Lindsay. Tommy and I were going to Grace Bible Church, and that's a whole nother story. I won't get into that, but I was in Houston for like a year, wasn't plugged into church, and then Tommy moves back to Houston and is like, hey, let's get plugged into church. So that's just an awesome thing that Tommy helped me with, and God really used him in my life for that. But when we first started going there, we didn't know anybody, so we would kind of meet up and go sit together, and we were sitting in the back one day in like March 2013, March like 17th, and Tommy just turns to me, like the music's starting to play, and he's like, hey, you see that girl with the curly hair, like that always hangs around the sound booth? I think she's really attractive. And I was like, yeah, she is. And so nothing really came of that. Like 4 months later, Tommy goes on this river trip, and I didn't go on the river trip. I don't know why, but Tommy gets back from the river trip, and he's like, Sean, I met that girl. I met the girl with the curly brown hair. He's like, she's older than me. I think she's too old for me. But apparently not, because now they're getting married. And then the last thing on Tommy and Lindsay, like, I knew they were going to get married when Lindsay came to Fort Worth for the TCU Oklahoma State game, which was, I believe, our homecoming. Tommy and I go to all the TCU games together, and Lindsay was wearing her orange, and we were sitting together, and I was just verbally abusing her. I probably said some bad words, said some really inappropriate things, and Tommy just turns to me and he's like, "Sean, that's my future wife you're talking to," and he was serious. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I have. Tommy and Lindsay, you're a huge blessing to me. You're an encouragement. I thank God for you guys, and I'm so excited to be a part of this night and this wedding and your lives. So thank you.
All right, well, I obviously am the emotional one of the two of us because I couldn't stop crying during most of that. But, you know, each and every one of you here has had an impact in our lives. Some small, some great, some big, but each one of them is important. You know, Lindsay and I have this rock that we, and I think Chris will talk about a little bit more in the sermon tomorrow, but that we call our Ebenezer rock, and it comes from a book, the book of Samuel in the Old Testament. And it stands to represent a monument and a thankfulness to God for the places He's brought you. And each and every one of you in here is an Ebenezer to us because y'all meant so much to us. And, you know, I think Aaron was good to bring up my little acronym of GFFT, because that's really true, because, you know, God deserves all the glory for bringing Lindsay into my life. And, but also to, you know, our families that raised us to be who we are today, to get us to this point. And there's so many amazing friends that are here from all walks of life. Why can't we And, you know, I think the Texas part's important too, not just because not just because I'm a proud Texan, but it represents a lot of things. It represents working hard for what you believe in. It represents loyalty. And it represents our home. And I'm just so thankful for each and every one of you. I'm especially thankful for my parents in this, you know, incredible night. And I wish that my mom's trait of emotion didn't pass down to me.
She just pointed out that she's not crying.
I know, she's not crying. Anyway, we're so thankful. I know a lot of y'all traveled near and far, and we hope this is a fun weekend. It's an important weekend. It's the kind of the new beginning of our lives, and we are just so thankful and blessed that y'all are here to share it with us. Thank you very much.